so many friends of mine. How have I been doing? How have I been doing? If you want to really know the truth, I'm doing fine. 17 decisions in a row, and only 5 on points. The rest are all KO. Jackson and Johnson, Fergie and Bronson, one by one they come and one by one the dreamland they go. How's it done? You ask me how's it done? I got a trainer man who taught me all I know. Sure it's good to see him in my corner, hear his voice, a whispering low. Big boy, remember, you must remember. Everybody clap your hands, come on. Stand up and fight until you hear the bell. Stand toe to toe, trade blow for blow. Keep punching till you make the punches tell. Show that crowd what you know until you hear the bell, that final bell. Stand up and fight like hell. Oh, when you fight out in the open air, in a patch of light, the ring looks small and white. Out in the blackness, you can see the 100,000 eyes filling the night. Big cigars are blinking in the dark and making polka dots around the baseball park. First it goes quiet, then there's a riot. Someone throws a punch and lunges there, smacking the mark. Someone's hurt, you're bloody sure it's you. You look around the ring, that's all you gotta do. Then you look and see your trainer's eyes, begging you to see it through. Big boy, remember, you must remember. Everybody come on and say it. Stand up and fight until you hear the bell. Stand toe to toe, trade blow for blow. Keep punching till you make the punches tell. Show that crowd what you know until you hear the bell, that final bell. Stand up and fight like hell. Stand up and fight. Stand up and fight like hell. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Come on, everybody shout, good evening, David. Thank you. Who do you think it was when I came on? Jimmy Cagney? I get that a lot, you know, Jimmy Cagney. Which one? Bobby Davro? Les Battersby? My God. Right, we're going to find out for this wonderful audience tonight. All the fellas with the wives tonight, shout, yo! 3. All the fellas with somebody else's wife, shout, yo! All right. Hey, I went to a wife shopping party in Blackpool the other night. It was all right. I got a lawnmower for mine. Unbelievable. I've just come back off a cruise in the Mediterranean, all together. Reminds me of a lovely story. This captain on this ship, he's walking about the deck on this ship inspecting everything. He walked past this lifeboat. He heard a noise in the lifeboat and he lifted the tarpaulin up. There's a woman lady inside this boat. The captain said, who are you? She said, I'm a stowaway. He said, a stowaway? Where are you stowing away to? She says, I'm stowing away to Australia. Really? How long have you been in this boat? She says, 25 days. She says, 25 days laid in here? What have you been doing for food and water? She says, well, your first officer, he's been bringing me food and water. Oh, has he? And what have you been giving him in return for this food and water? She says, well, I've been letting him have me. The captain says, you haven't been having you. This is the bloody Isle of Wight ferry. Look, the swanny without a paddle. This little Irish fellow, he's walking through Soho in London. He's looking in all the sex shops. He got stopped, 12 o'clock at night, he got stopped by this woman, a woman of the night, a woman of ill repute, a woman of horizontal refreshment. She went to Little Murphy, she said, hi, honey. Little Murphy said, hello there. She said, would you like to sleep with me for £40? He said, well, I'm not tired, but I could do the money. He's working on this building site. He's filling this barrel full of dirt. There's some lad slating a new roof. One of the slates stood off the roof and hit him straight in the side of the head, chopped his ear off. And his ear dropped on the floor and all the rubble. They're all looking round for his ear. One of his mates shouts, "Paddy, it's here." He says, "No, sir, that's at my ear." He said, "Well, it must be your ear. There's only one ear." He said, "I know there's at my ear." He says, "How do you know?" He says, "I had a pencil at the back of mine." He says, "Look, put this here in your hand, keep squeezing it like that, keep the blood flowing in it, put it in your pocket to keep it warm, go to the hospital and the surgeons will sew it on with that microsurgery. But don't forget, keep massaging your ear." So off he went to the hospital with his ear in his hand, stood in the casualty, massaging his ear like this. "I'll take you home again, Kathleen." I'm beginning to enjoy this. All of a sudden the sister came out, she says, "Hey, you!" And he went, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" She said, "Stop that, you'll go blind." He said, "If I don't, I'll go deaf." Ah! That's a cracker. One of my favourite Irish comics, you've seen him on the telly hundreds of times, a fella called Frank Carson. Remember Frank Carson? Here's a quick Frank Carson, just a minute. It's a way of telling. Little Murphy went to Spain for 2 weeks holiday. He came back home, he'd only been home for 2 days, and he passed away. And he passed away! And his wife dressed him in his best suit and laid him on the front table in the lounge ready for his wake. Little Mrs. O'Shaughnessy from next door came round to have a look at him. And she stood there looking at little Murphy and she says to his wife, "By God, doesn't he look well?" And his wife says, "Yes, I think the holiday did him good." She said, "Yes, but he's got a lovely little smile on his face." His wife says, "Yes, I know. He died in his sleep. He doesn't know he's dead yet." But when he wakes up and finds out he's dead, the bloody shock will kill him. Frank Carson, news at 10, drunk as a monkey. There's a bit of Frank Carson. I love doing impressions, you know. All last summer, well, last 2-3 summers, I've worked for Thomson Gold hotels, wonderful hotels, you know, in the Mediterranean. And they're wonderful hotels, but the walls of the bedrooms are very, very thin. Now I was in Tunisia last year, and I did my show in front of 400 people, and I went to bed later on, and there's a couple next door to me making love, and I could hear everything what they were doing, and I think it was James Bond. Because this woman's voice kept saying, "Roger Moore, Roger Moore. Oh, Pierce my Brosnan." And I think he was a plumber, he kept shouting, "Overflow! Overflow!" And I was stood there listening to all this next door, 3.5 hours I was stood there with my head tilted slightly to the left, like that. 3.5 hours of unadulterated sex. When he finished off on the last gasp, he went, "Oh, oh." I thought that was brilliant. I was so impressed I was going to give him a round of applause. And I thought to myself, well, it's very hard to clap with one hand. Anyway, I did this impression in front of 400 people, and I got what they call in the business a standing ovation. All the audience stood up as one and buggered off to bed. So all the way from the stage, ladies and gentlemen, if I can get this, it'll do. All the way from the stage, I'm going to bring you now, as I fill in my pocket for my little cigarette. All the way from the stage, I'm going to bring you one of America's greatest film stars, ladies and gentlemen. So don't look away, it'll kill you, this will. Here he is, the one and only Mr. Robert Mitchum. Robert Mitchum! I wish I could do the voice. Mind you got one of them voices, Robert Mitchum, and he got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Tell you what he'd sound a lot like Sylvester Stallone. Did you see them films, Rocky? I saw them all, you know. Rocky I, Rocky I, Rocky I. Rocky VI, Rocky VI. I won when he won the championship in that second film. And he stood in the middle of the ring looking for his wife over the crowd, and Sylvester Stallone said, Adrian? Adrian? Whoa, Adrian? Hey, don't push me, don't push me. Hey, me, Rocky Balboa. I'm gonna beat that Apollo Creed. Well, they said I wasn't gonna beat him, but I beat him. Uncle Mikey said to me, he said, now look here, Rocky, you gotta do a lot of training for this fight. I said, oh, I don't want to train for this fight, I wanna go to this fight. Then it'll look around and down and go to the hope. Adrian? Adrian? Where are you, Adrian? Mr. Grimsdale? How did he get in? No one was there. Can you remember Chris Ubank? He wore the monocle, he drove that big lorry. Here's a quick Chris Ubank.
My father's a boxer. My brother's a boxer. And my mother was a cocker spaniel.
Hey, that's a cracker, that, anyway. And then we had my favourite comic magician, a fellow called Tommy Cooper. Because we all loved Tommy Cooper, didn't we? And as you know, Tommy Cooper, he died on stage. And I've done that hundreds of times. Here's a big Tommy Cooper. Thank you very much, thank you. I went to a horse today, 10 to 1. Came in at 5 o'clock. Oh dear. I went to this restaurant. I says, waiter, I says, this chicken's cold. He said, I know it's been dead for that. Now every story should have a moral, and this story has got a moral. Picture the scene. There's a chicken stuck in a fence, a chicken. And this chicken shouted, help. Help. And a fella pulled up in a red Porsche. And the chicken said, excuse me. Because it was a talking chicken. Have you got any rope in your boot? And the fellow with the red Porsche said, yes, I have. He says, can you tie the rope round my body, round the back of the Porsche, drive off as fast as you can and see if you can pull me out of this fence. So they tied the rope round the chicken, round the back of the Porsche, and he drove off at 100 miles an hour. The rope tightened up like that, and it broke. And the chicken's still stuck in the fence. And the chicken said, oh, cluck. Hey, that was a definite cluck. What are we going to do now? He looked over here, the field was a donkey. He said, excuse me, Mr. Donkey. And the donkey said, what do you want? Can you tie this bit of rope round a part of your anatomy and see if you can pull out this fence? And the donkey said, yes, I can. He says, tie it round my willy wobbler. So they tie the rope round the donkey's willy wobbler. He says, now gallop away as fast as you can and see if you can pull me out of this fence. And the donkey galloped away. The rope tightened up like that, and it pulled the chicken straight out the fence, just like that. And the moral of the story is, you don't have to have a Porsche to pull a bird, you've got to have a dick like a donkey. One of my... oh my God. What a lovely audience. We've got no children in tonight either, have we? Don't get me wrong, I love kids. I can't bear them, but I love kids. They're so clever, aren't they, kids? Little boy and little girl in the bath, having a bath together. And they splashing water on one another. Little boy says to little girl, he says, I'm going to duck you. Little girl says, you can't even say it properly. My favourite cowboy of all time, we've had a bit of Robert Mitchum there. It was a fella called John Wayne. Remember John Wayne? And there's a film on BBC Two the other week starring John Wayne and his little sidekick, Walter Brennan. Can you remember Walter Brennan? A part of this film, you know, the Indians all come over the hill in one big line, and the music in the film goes, bam, 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 bam. And John Wayne says to Walter Brennan, he said, I'll do it properly. John Wayne, 6'4". But all right, 4'6". And Big John said, Okay, trooper. You see out there? There's 1,000 gents. It's bloody good, that. And Walter Brennan always had a stiff leg. They called him Stumpy. Can you remember old Stumpy? Here he comes. I can sure see those Indians out there, Johnny boy. I don't like to look at all those Indians. They're looking mighty hostile. What do you want to do with all those Indians out there, Johnny? You little whippersnapper. What I want you to do, Stumpy, I want you to get on your horse and go powwow with those gents. Sure thing, son. I'm on my way, boy. He gets on his horse, Walter Brennan, and he goes galloping towards his Indians. Could you give me some galloping music in the sound box, please? Thank you. I'm coming to get you, pesky redskins. Yee-haw! Folks, all this trouble in nature country. He gets into these Indians, and he pulls his horse up. He gets into these Indians, and he pulls his horse up. He gets into these Indians, and he pulls him through the ocean. Will you shut up? We've gone past them now. And I've got the stitch. He gets up these Indians, pulls his horse up. He gets off his horse. Little horse. Shallow pony. He goes up these Indians and he says, "How do you do there, Chief? Now look here, boy, there's too much feuding and fight going on in this here country. What do you got to say for yourself?" And this big Indian looks at Walter Brennan and he said, "Hey, baby, won't you take a chance? Say that you let me have this chance." I think I got a lot of trouble tonight, me. This big Indian said, "Oh, bloody hell, sir, nice being your wonderful, wonderful country." Oh, hang on, I've got the wrong Indian. Oh. No, this is a proper Indian, Jack Palance. Can you remember Jack Palance? He'd got a face like a slate glazed nail bag, hadn't he? And he said, hey, all together. Yeah! Hey, old MacDonald died the farm. I know you know that one. Me, Big Chief Sitting Bull. You know my wife, Lying Cow. Yesterday, my wife, Lying Cow, she drank 200 cups of tea in 1 hour. This morning, we found her dead in her own teepee. Me, Big Chief Sitting Bull. Have many more problems. There's one. Flatulation. Today, Papoose come to me. He say, "Father, why my sister called running water?" I say, "Your mother and me make love on the riverbank." Stream run by. We called first daughter running water. Then Papoose said,
Father, I want to be a boxer.
Father, why my second sister called Blue Sky? I say your mother and me make love in cornfield. When we finish, we roll over. This one me. We look up at Blue Sky. We call second daughter Blue Sky. Why you ask all these questions, holding condom?
What a name for a kid! We got John Wayne and Walter Brennan and Philippines.
Thank you. Sit up. Hey, you've been blooming absolutely wonderful tonight, you know. It's not that long since I was here. Can you remember, like, when I was here the other week? Yeah. You're a wonderful audience. They told me before I came on, don't do too long. But they know what I am, you see. I'm what they call stage struck. I go on here, I enjoy myself so much. I never want to stop. Even at home when I open the fridge door and the light comes on, I do 20 minutes. It's unbelievable. May I leave you all with one thought. Always be kind and loving and caring for your children. Because they're the ones who decide which home you're going in. You've been wonderful. I'm going to leave you with a lovely song, one of my favourites, this one. Thanks for being so very nice to me. Wonderful to be on this wonderful show. Thank you to Beverly Artists, my agents, and everybody inviting me here. You've been wonderful. Thank you. Hit it, baby. Don't ask me a mountain of questions when there is simply no answer to it all. If you love me, really love me, hey, don't push me, don't push me. As I love you, then it's the answer to everything. If you do, don't act like
My father's a boxer.
you misunderstand me.
It's real terrible.
When there is simply no mystery to it all. If you love me, really love me, to bring down, as I love you, then it's the answer to everything. If you do, if there is someone else, some other place that holds your heart, tell me now, truthfully, before we start. Don't give me
I think I got a lot of trouble tonight, me.
a million excuses. Okay, Trooper. When I am waiting with my arms open wide, if you love me, really love me, I don't like looking at all those Indians. As I love you, then it's the answer to everything. If you do, if there is someone else, some other place that holds your heart, tell me now, to everything.